Yes, 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 yes. Come on into the building. Come on into the building. It's your homie HerbMan. Busting you back upside the head with another hot banger. Boogie, please go tell somebody, your homie HerbMan is on. And if you are new to the program, welcome, welcome, welcome. Please follow, like, share, and subscribe on all the platforms at Love HerbMan. All right, so this is going to be a great, great live today, you guys. Anytime y'all see me today, y'all already know your boy been soul searching. We're going to go a little deeper today than we've ever been before. But really, it's just another video of confirmation of what we've been teaching you. But now we're going to get into more scientific-based studies instead of what we've been literally showing you about spiritually, how you can get intact and activate some of these healing modalities. Look, I am your neighborhood holistic practitioner. I'm your homie HerbMan. All right. So all we do here is simply teach people how to heal themselves. And you cannot heal yourself if you do not know thyself. So we teach you about the human frame and the human design so that you can be well on your way to happiness, wholeness, and wellness. All right. Throughout your paradigm here. So we ain't gonna do no different than what we normally do. We're live on TikTok and we're live on YouTube. We're coming live from South Africa just to show you guys exactly what it is that we do. All right. So now what we are really offering you guys today, okay, what we're really offering you guys today is an understanding scientifically of what we've been teaching. I'm gonna erase a lot of this so we can get a scope of what it is that we're looking at. But we're gonna talk about some scientific studies on what it is to be in tune with nature. Scientifically, these folks been knowing this stuff work. They've been trying to introduce it, but it needs more of a collective front. And so you guys are going to learn a little bit more about the synopsis, the relationship, and why this is such a beneficial thing to you from the research that they've done. It ain't even no research that I've done. I'm giving you research that they've done for you to understand that even they know that this is the answer. Okay. What we teach here is about the owner's manual. The owner's manual serves as a guide for you. Any piece of equipment you've ever bought in your life has an owner's manual. Right? You have a watch, a bracelet, whatever it is, it comes with an owner's manual. Right? It teaches you about the longevity. It teaches you about how to get the optimal performance. It teaches you about how to use that piece of equipment that you have. Right. So when you get the optimal usage, the optimal performance, and the longevity out of that equipment, then it feels like you made the proper investment. Every single piece of equipment comes with an owner guide, but you are no different, my friends and family. There is the oldest record keeping on the planet, which is following the path of the sun, that we revived, that we researched, that we have reintroduced, because we ain't discovered shit, right? We done forgot more than what we can go and find out about, right? We done forgot more than what we can discover. So this is a rediscovery about one of the oldest ancient systems on the planet that I said, okay, if anybody wants to go back to nature, if anybody wants to rival the modern medical facility, if anybody want to rival the modern healthcare system, then you have to have a system. And if you don't know, then nature, traditional medicine has a system. And the system is going off of nature, going back to nature, talking to nature, so that you can get nature's answers on your questions. So you keep asking man about your religion. You keep asking man about your problems. You keep asking man about your secrets. You keep asking man about what's going on with you, and you don't have a conversation, nor do you have a fruitful, relevant relationship with nature to get the answers you're looking for. So we teach you about these things, okay? So this is free information. This is the free information station. The only way you pay for this information is simply by paying attention. How you do that is by double tapping the screen, doing this live. Get us up to 100K, you guys, all right? Now, once we get to 1,000 likes, we'll get into the subject matter at hand. And since we're already there, that means you guys are ready for what HerbMan actually brings to the round. All right, so I'm going to erase this just for a second because I want you guys to really tune in to what we're offering you here today as far as a lifelong lesson that you can take from social media. I know that you guys don't take social media lightly. You guys don't really, you ain't gonna just listen to everything folks say, even though that's all you do all day. Did you hear about this little TikTok? Girl, I seen this TikTok video. Girl, I saw this little YouTube video. So you listen, but you're not listening to the right information when it pertains to you've been in a critical condition. I think that when you need a laugh, social media is helpful for you. When you need drama, social media is helpful for you. Uh, in some of you guys' situations, when you needed help sick wise, social media might have been helpful for you. It might have been an old tea you found, an old remedy you ran into, old herbalist that you ran into that actually was able to help you solve your situation, right? So that's a good thing for some of you guys. It's a bad thing for most of us. Most of us don't get to get that reciprocity in our most critical time, right? Most of us don't get to get that. So this nature-based intervention that I'm trying to give you is first of all a scientific ass word that I didn't even know about. Okay, I'm gonna keep it real with you. This nature-based intervention that I'm going to teach you today is a actual factual scientific jargon that they use that your boy didn't know nothing about as far as the terminology, but I knew about it when it comes to the life. When it comes to the life, your boy knew about nature-based interventions, but did not know that this thing has been studied. They got all kind of facts. They got all kind of stuff out there that's going to run you down why nature-based intervention has always been one of the top scientifically researched factors of health and mental health. How many of you know we're dealing with some mental health? If you can't stop eating that lemon pepper chicken knowing it's killing you, that's mental health. If you can't stop drinking that alcohol after you've been diagnosed with liver cirrhosis, that's mental health issue. If you can't stop smoking that tweed, knowing that you don't supposed to be smoking tweed, that's mental health. If you can't stop eating that ice cream, knowing you're 450 already, you 450 on the Richter scale, and you still like ice cream and double cheese and double egg and double meat and get that 4 orders of fries, and you know that's mental health. If you're still smoking crack, knowing good and well crack bad, okay, mental health. Now, we've now understood that nature-based interventions have been researched so much that the mental health community is starting to understand the efficacy of nature-based interventions. Now, I'm gonna sit here and talk to you, but you know your boy brought some receipts. You know your boy brought some receipts today, YouTube and TikTok. So we going in. I ain't gonna make the video long, but I'm gonna make it strong enough for you to understand that your owner's manual is the best thing I can or anybody on the planet can offer you to help you in your health needs. And that's better than the doctor. The only person better than this right here would be a surgeon. The only thing gonna be better than this is a surgeon in your time of need. If you're dealing with acute and chronic conditions that does not require surgery, there is nothing better than the home. If you are religious, if you're going to the synagogue, if you're going to the church, okay, if you're going to the mosque, there's nothing that you've heard that's better than the owner's manual. If you are atheist and you don't believe in nothing, if you are a believer of the ancestors, that still is nothing that you've heard better than the owner's manual. Because what we're showing you is that there is a blueprint in how your design is supposed to come into this particular paradigm and mesh with nature and have a relationship with nature and utilize the resources that nature has. Look, you could be a water bender, but you're working with apple. You ain't gonna get it. You could be a fire bender, but you're working with apple. You ain't gonna get it. And you don't know which one of these you are. Oh, they say I'm an Aries, so I'm a firebender because that's a fire sign. No, you're fucking incorrect. You could be an Aries and be a water bender. You could be a fire sign and be an earth bender. You could be an air sign and be a water bender. You could be a water sign and be an earth bender. You can be an earth sign and be a fire bender. There are specificities that come with all these things, like your model number, like your manufacturing date, right? Yeah, yeah, they're gonna try to restrict the visibility, and it's all good because we still gonna do we gonna do. Okay, you can try to be all of those things, But if you don't know how to be in balance and you don't know how nature works, then that's really the, the epitome of the problem. Most of us are urban driven, right? We're living in urban areas, okay? Most of us never heard of green and blue spaces, right? Green and blue spaces mean what? Shit with a lot of land and nature around, and there's stuff with a lot of water around. Why? Because we know that all this is now for months on end, I've been telling you guys that the most high state, okay? And I'm gonna ask one of my scholars that's on here because I've been doing this so long, and I know some of y'all are here. What is the most high state? Okay, rest, relaxation, meditation, right? So we've been teaching you guys that the green and the blue. Now, this on the chakra scale, this is the blue area. The heart chakra, which I teach you guys, is the green. Okay, the heart chakra is the green. Okay, which is your love. That's the heart chakra. The blue is your crown, right? And your third eye, all in the blue. So they just telling us scientifically that we are moving to more urban areas. We're leaving more of the green and blue spaces. The green and blue spaces are the ones that give us the calmness, the contentment, the stillness, and the healing abilities. Now, if you didn't know nothing about the heart chakra, in the heart chakra is not only just green spaces, we're talking about green foods, chlorophyll. We're also talking about your autoimmunity and your immune system. So when you drive yourself away toward the city and you leave away from the land that you got green and lakes on, guess what? You get more sympathetic. You get more sympathetic, you get more cortisol. You get more cortisol, you get more stress, you get more fear and anxiety. And it's been told that most of people who are living under capitalistic mindset are plagued more with fear and anxiety. Okay? Fear and anxiety, what needs to calm you down? What needs to relax you? What needs to give you that contentment? What needs to give you that understanding that you don't have to worry about yesterday or tomorrow? We can just be in the present moment. It has to that you know everything is going to be okay. But guess what? You don't know everything going to be okay because you're not around enough green and blue spaces. You don't know enough about nature, right? But guess what? Walking, running, jogging, listen to me now. Walking, running, jogging, and what else you can say? I'm gonna say walking, running, jogging, pick one, right? Pick one and do it. You can do water. That's outdoors, out the real. You can do water sports. You got surfing, you got boating, you got fishing, you got canoeing. It's all kinds of stuff, right? So we're not having that relationship with nature, which is causing us to not have such a remedy for the stimulus of life. You don't have a remedy for the stimulus of life. Now I'm going to give you some medical terminology. The burden of non-communicable diseases, including poor mental health, is increasing. And some practitioners, if you guys want to look this up, you can go to the NCBI, okay, the National Institute for Health. All right, that's where we get this study from. All right, so I'm reading their little stuff down. The burden of non-communicable diseases. A non-communicable disease is basically the disease that you can't spread. Okay? Communicable diseases are diseases that we spread. Non-communicable diseases are diseases that are not spreadable. They're not contagious like that, right? So the burden of non-communicable diseases, including poor mental health, meaning that when you can't stop eating chicken, you know, you got high blood pressure, can't stop putting salt in the beans, can't stop eating tater chips and cake, you got high blood sugar, can't stop doing this, no, you got colon, can't stop doing this, no, you got liver cancer, can't stop doing this, no, you got lung cancer, can't stop. See, so that's mental health. So now it said including poor mental health is increasing the burden of non-communicable diseases, including poor mental health, is increasing, and some practitioners are turning to nature to provide the solution. But when HerbMan come on here and tell you about turning to nature, and that you finally got somebody that knows how to talk to nature, a plant whisperer, so to speak, a earth whisperer, so to speak, all because of your birthday, y'all don't understand how this works. But hundreds of people have been on live and told you they've done the readings, they've got the herbs, and we don't chase diseases, so there's no way for them to tell me what's going on with them. You don't tell me. We don't take diagnosis. We don't do doctor's diagnosis. Why? Because I'm not a doctor. We don't do a self-diagnosis. Why? Because you ain't no damn. I don't do no blood test. I don't need no blood type. I don't do your hair sample. I don't do stool samples. I don't take urine samples or saliva samples or live culture. You simply just need your birthday. Okay? You simply just need your birthday. Y'all are being fooled by these dietary merchants. Don't you know? And I say this all the time on my live. Out of your ignorance, you create industry. It's out of your ignorance, out of your lack of knowledge that people continue to keep paying their own children's college fee when you can't even send your to private high school. You paying folks college fees and you can't send your kid to a private school that requires money. You got to send them to public for free, paying somebody else. Stop it. There is not one of you that need to purchase anybody else's stuff until you know what to purchase. And the only ask me, man, how do we know what to purchase? Somebody put it up there, man, how we know what to purchase? You told me don't purchase my medication no more. Don't purchase Yaki stuff no more. Don't do this no. Don't do my favorite this. Don't go to my favorite that. Don't go to the grocery store. Don't purchase. So what we supposed to ask me, man, what am I supposed to purchase? Okay, because until you know what to purchase, then all you're doing is purchasing your demise. You need to know what foods you need to eat before you start buying food from the grocery store. You need to know what herbs and what minerals you need to have before you just start doing haywire at GNC. You need to know what your body requires before you start to just go haywire on your diet, on your life. You don't stop eating this and you don't stop eating soul food. You don't want no more soul food. You don't know what's in meat that you need. You don't know what's in them vegetables that you need. You don't know what's in them fruit that you need. You don't cut out a whole food group, but you don't know what you're missing because you ain't purchased your owner's manual. So you're sitting around here trying to do everybody's diet, everybody's program, everybody's product. So guess what? Buy your own owner's manual on you. Then go shopping, baby. Do what you want to do. You got the herbs you need, you got the food you need, you got the spiritual thing going on, you go to the right church. You got the physical thing going on, you go to the right doctor. You need a therapist, a ophthalmologist, do you need a podiatrist, do you need what do you need? But at least you'll know here. With your owner's manual, you know what you need so you don't keep purchasing things for no reason, spending fruitless, and frivolous money. So for a funky ass measly $50, at least get your shopping list on you. That's the owner's manual. But let's keep on moving. So now, people have found out that nature-based interventions work a little bit better than what we thought. Let's keep it moving. Nature-based interventions, NBIs, could offer cost-effective solutions by reconnecting individuals with nature, but the success of these interventions depends partially on the way in which people engage with green spaces. I love this. Y'all don't worry about it because if you missed it today, if TikTok suppress it today, we'll be back on tomorrow and forevermore. So you ain't got to worry about that. Plus, you guys, you can always follow me on YouTube. We're live on YouTube right now as well. So please go subscribe there. But listen to what this said. But the success of the intervention. This is nature intervention. nature. Somebody done came on social media telling us, let nature intervene into your shit. Stop asking man, stop asking lawyers, stop asking doctors, stop asking pastor, and let's start asking nature. Let's start asking God. And now we have an interest rate into what God says to us because God works through mathematics, which is the oldest language on earth. And because the language of mathematics is the oldest language on the planet, then your birthday speaks volumes to nature. Nature don't know English, but it know math. Nature don't know Chinese, but it know math. Nature don't know European, but it know math. The language to talk to God is math. Is math. And guess what? You come with some math. Because when you came into the paradigm, there was a record of your existence. Because at some point during the sun's path, you came into existence. And when in that point you were recorded, it's the way the three wise men found Jesus. They weren't in Egypt. They left and went to Egypt because they was following stars. They didn't know what the baby color gonna be, what their name was, who his kinfolk is. They don't know where he at. So they following the stars to find the star. They're following the stars. They're following the sun to find the sun. They're following the stars to find the star, the star to show. They're following motherfucking nature intervention to find the mediator, the intervene of you. They are following nature to find the way. I don't know how many ways I can teach this stuff. So now I'm gonna give you some science off the National Institute of Health. They record keep because you can't believe mine. Because you know I'm this old black man, old country ass some bitch from goddamn West Georgia, and that's okay. So you can't believe me spiritually coming up here on this thing, giving you what options that I got, knowing that I was factual before I even knew about a fact. So guess what? I'm gonna start giving you facts so that you can understand that what I'm talking about been researched, been understood to be valid and successful. You just gotta get it, and the collective gotta want it in order for it to be the number one thing you go to when you need help. Now, here we go. Nature-based interventions gotta be successful. Depends partially on the way in which people engage with blue and green spaces. Now, here's the thing. Thank you for that. Most people live in urban spaces, live close to cities. Okay. So my point to you is that how much vacation time do you got? Most people who are listening to me at the sound of my voice make a vacation every year. Now, even though you just started at McDonald's gonna give you at least 2 weeks. Okay. The White House gonna give you 2 weeks. Okay. Uh, now some places, depending on if it's mom and pop, your first year they may give you a week vacation. Okay. Now, if you finna sell your soul over to the government and you sell your soul over to an industry, then obviously after you do a lifetime of being there, they give you 30 days. Okay, 30 days, right? So now my point is that out of a 12-month year, out of a 365-day year, you're only spending time in green and blue spaces 2 weeks to a month, depending on how privileged you are at your job. That's about right. Put the ones in the chat if you guys are following. We know ourselves individually on our date of birth, knowing numbers that belong to us according to nature. I don't know what you're asking. It doesn't seem like that's a question. The only numbers that you need to know about is your date of birth. All right. Anybody else? So if you guys are following me here, we get that it takes that birthday, but we're understanding that most of us don't spend enough time in green and blue spaces, right? Blue spaces about what? Green spaces is in nature, a forest, just land, all kinds of stuff out there. When it's just land, it's just forest, it's just nature, right? And blue is water, land and water. green and blue spaces. Most of us are going on vacation to do that. Go to the mountain, go to the ranch, go to the beach, go to these places. So in that little 2 week a month period, you spend in the green spaces. Now, my point to you is that the percentage of 2 weeks to a year, the percentage of a month to a year is a very low percentage. I don't know if you guys want to pull that up, but what percentage is 1 out of 12? It's not that big of a percentage. Right? What percentage is 30 days out of 365? Right? It's not that big of a percentage. So at the end of the day, this is already at an imbalance based on the study. That the success of this happening for you, the success of the owner's manual has already been scientifically proved that the success is partially dependent on the way in which you engage with blue and green spaces. The heart chakra being your green, the love being your green, the healing being your green space, and then the blue, your crown, your third eye, your perception, and then also is going to be your spirituality. That's what these 4 things mean, or these 3 things mean. The crown chakra is going to be your spirituality. Your third eye is going to be your perspective, and then also it's going to be your green. It's going to be your heart chakra, your love. So in essence, you got air, water, and fire. Blue green space. Right here, it says that that's going to be important. Your heart and your love and your healing, your perspective and your spirituality is going to be important to your balance. So you move into spaces to get the bag. You're moving to cities. You're moving to get to the money. You're moving closer to the money, but you're moving farther away from your health. You're moving closer to wealth or further from health. There is a tender spot on this thing that can provide you both without having to be top heavy. What position is that? Anybody can tell me about that? There are positions on this scale to where you don't have to sacrifice your health for your wealth. You don't have to sacrifice your wealth for your health. There's a position on this particular spectrum that can give you the benefits of both. Anybody know where that is? And we're gonna keep on going through this science. And anybody know what that is? Please keep tapping the screen, you guys. Please keep tapping. I'll keep talking. Let's get us up to 100K. The middle ground. There you go. The middle. The balance, right? The balance. No lioness. It ain't got nothing to do with the body. We talk about spirituality. You still in your physicality. Don't don't disturb. Don't interchange physical body with the spiritual. And we're talking always spiritual. Always think spiritual first. So it's the balance. It's in the middle. In the middle, you have access to all the tools. You get too far left, then I can't reach some stuff over here I got to my right. When I get too far right, I can't reach some stuff over here I got to my left. So in order for me to have access to my total tool bag, I must understand the value of the middle ground, the middle position, the balancing act, the center, neutrality. Neutrality is nature. Okay? So now let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going, you guys. Let me tap back into this real quick. Everybody understand what we're talking about? Or you got a question? Keep tapping, I'll keep talking. Now, this is how they did the science. We conducted a scoping review in accordance with the preferred reporting items for systematic reviews and meta-analysis extension scoping reviews called Prisma SCR. So, they gave big old fancy name for it. And Cochrane's guidelines to establish the evidence base for treating poor mental and physical health with MBIs, with nature-based intervention. Okay? We searched 5 databases and the great literature. Exposure was the active engagement with natural environments. The primary outcome was mental health, and the secondary outcome was physical health. Defined using established metrics that they established. All data were extracted to a charting table and reported as a narrative synthesis. So you see what they did, right? They did this by themselves, but I'm gonna show you by using their shit how good God is with his shit, or with its shit, or with her shit, however you want to call God, or just how fine nature is. They know it, but you don't. You don't. You don't know how valuable it is to walk. You don't know how valuable it is to be out there that walk. You don't know how valuable it is to slow your breathing, to rest and to sleep. You don't, because if you did, then you wouldn't be in the problem. You don't know how valuable nature is. So when I try to expose you to this nature and expose you to the simplicity of the healing power of nature, it seems unfathomable that some that if I got psoriasis on the skin, that if I got eczema on the skin, that if I got boils and acne on my skin, that if I got any kind of impetigo on my skin or any kind of rashes on my skin, that I can do a mud bath because you too used to sun. Uh, I need to sun gaze. You don't know how to sun bathe. You don't know how to forest bathe. You don't know how to dirt a mud bathe, a mud bath. You don't know how to put yourself in salt water. See, you don't need nothing. You need to have this and that. Take 4 of these in the morning, take 2 of these in the afternoon. You're gonna need to do about 6 of these in the evening. It ain't that complicated. Nature can be the mediator. So if you want meds, start looking at medication. Start looking at meditation instead of medication. If you're looking for meds, start looking for MEDITATLN instead of MEDICATLN. Start looking for meditations instead of medications for your medication. Start looking for meditation instead of medication. Look for that med instead of the med that they're selling you. Okay, now let's keep this thing going. 952 studies were identified, 952 people, of which 39 met the inclusion criteria. 92% demonstrated consistent improvements. Now, here's the results already. We're going into straight results of nature based intervention that these folks already scientifically have done all kind of research on to validate that what HerbMan is presenting to us is to take your ass back to nature and let nature intervene into your health concerns and needs. So now the man done had to bring white folks into this thing to get you to understand that scientists already done determined that the shit he's saying is true. So don't worry about it. I'm gonna bring white folk to you to let you understand. I'm gonna bring the law and the science in because y'all don't know what you're missing or you're not understanding what I. There is no panacea, no product, but there is a program that's already out here, it already exists. You just gotta find the right person and tap into the right thing. Don't don't try to buy my products because of how smart I am. Buy my products because of how wise I am to know that there's somebody wiser than me. Don't buy my stuff because you think that I'm the smartest son of a bitch you ever heard. Buy my shit because you understand that he's the smartest person to know that he ain't the smartest motherfucker. That I listen to HerbMan because HerbMan know that he know how to go back to greater source, to a higher source. He found a way to go back into something greater than him to determine what you need instead of him trying to figure it out for himself. I remove myself out of the. There ain't no swinging dicks, there ain't no competition with you here. Until you learn how to talk to nature in this way, you can't, there's no win, there's no duel. You can't beat me. Because I go to mama with your birthday, with numbers. The oldest record keeping system on the planet. If you're interested in your owner's manual, please DM me and we'll get you the information. Let's get back to it. 952 studies were identified, and of which 39 met the inclusion criteria. 92% demonstrated consistent improvements across any health outcome where individuals engage with natural outdoor environments. So that means that when they got out there in that water that you told them earlier, when they got out there in that dirt, in that mud bath that you told them earlier, when they got out there in garden, and when they walked, when they ran, or when they jogged, man, when they got out there and surfed, or when they boated, or when they fished, or when they canoed, when they got out that motherfucker and done something that they engaged themselves with nature, they walked through the little pathways that they're making now in the little urban cities over in America. You know, they'll make you a little park and a pathway in a minute. Okay, so you got this little. But how many times have you been in the? Do you got bikes that you bought? Hell, I got two bikes. I went and bought my ex-wife and what with them. Right, that's something number one time. So you'll see that the engagement part has to be part of it. Folks look at me crazy. I don't even know it's me, but I be on that. Sometimes y'all don't even know that's me on the bike at the grocery store. That's her man on the bike. It's her. Incognito. But in it is doing stuff behind the scenes that you don't know shit about. So you're sitting up here figuring, how can I be HerbMan? How can I do what HerbMan do? You don't work out, you don't have discipline. So then when you see the little things that I do, you say, well, he's undisciplined. Look at him, he does this and does that. But I can't find out one stick of discipline in you that's pertaining to things you want to do versus things that somebody else wants to do. Yeah, you disciplined about taking your ass to work because you got to clock in and let that white man tell you what to do. But I'm disciplined at doing my own thing and being my own boss. I don't need nobody to tell me what to do in order for me to make a living. I don't need nobody to get me up in the morning in order for me to get up in the morning. I don't need no alarm clock to go out. I don't need to tell you to tell me you my trainer. You got to call me and tell me come to the gym. Bitch, I'm gonna work out regardless of you if I call you or not. What you talking about? This shit is built in me, but it ain't in you. So it takes some engagement from your part to do this, to make it work. But I'm taking the spookism out of it today and just giving you what I said this time. Now, we already seen that 92%, okay, a 92% success rate with nature-based interventions. Let's keep it going. Mental health outcomes improved across 98% of studies, while physical and cognitive health outcomes showed an improvement across 83 and 75%. So now here we go. 98% of the people who were dealing with mental health issues, when you got into nature-based intervention, the onus man, getting back in balance with nature, connecting back with nature, establishing your relationship back with nature. 98% of you motherfuckers out there dealing with mental health saw some improvement just by doing this, and you ain't got to take bipolar medication, schizophrenia medication. You ain't got to take that anti-anxiety medication, that antidepressant. You don't have to take it. Nature, give you 98% on mental health. I'm going by their studies. This is their information. You can go Google this yourself. All right. Physical and cognitive, 83 and 75. So physical conditions, 83% has been proved to be improved just by going back to nature. Just by going back to nature, your physical problem, something wrong with your body, that's your physical problem. 83% success rate. And the motherfucker ain't gave me no pill. They just put me in the right environment. Made me engaged to it. I started. Studies show that when you're in a hospital room, that if you give the same person with the same surgery, let's say you got your kidneys taken out or you got your gallbladder taken out there, but if you're looking at a brick wall and another person is looking at a nature picture after surgery, it's already been proven that even though you got the same surgery, both y'all got your gallbladder taken out. The person watching goddamn the nature episode is getting better faster, need lesser pain medication, and get up out there. And they watching nature while you watching the brick wall in your house. They already been tested. I'm not saying anything bringing up nothing new. I'm exposing you to what's already been proven. Now let's keep it going. Your cognitive health. This is dementia, Parkinson's. This is the loss of memory. This is I can't remember this. I can't focus. I can't concentrate. This is ADD, autism, ADHD. 75% of you scum bitches can get over your situation just by going to nature-based intervention. And we ain't even talking to you. Now let's keep it moving. Additionally, we identified that 153 factors affecting engagement with nature, 78% of which facilitated engagement compared with 22 that reduced engagement. Aspects such as the sense of wilderness, accessibility, opportunities for physical activity, and the absence of noise, air pollution, and all increased engagement. They all increased engagements. So that's what I'm saying. When you're going back to city life, you're going toward the warehouse, you're going toward the job, you trying to chase that bag, you're also going toward pollution, which in other words is toxicity in your body. So pollution ain't just a word for the outside environment, it actually equates to toxicity in the internal environment within you. So you're in the hustle and bustle of making a bag. Yeah, you get to the bread, but you're also suffering fear and anxiety because of the conditions that you're living in, which is capitalism. Capitalism, whether you're a rich man, and capitalism, whether you're a poor man, is the death sentence for all men. I want to repeat that one more time. Did I hear that? I got any kind of folk that got in here got hearing aids. Need me to scream that a little loud. Capitalism to the rich man and capitalism to the poor man is a death sentence for both men. Because if you poor in capitalism, it conjugates up fear and anxiety for your basic survival. And if you are a rich man in capitalism, it conjugates up fear and anxiety for basic survival to keep staying rich. I gotta be the stress of being rich is to maintain your riches. And the stress of being poor, ain't nobody out of the stress. Both of you still stressing for another dollar. Okay? So now we understand that now, this becomes what? Mental health. It's just like eating the fried chicken when you're not supposed to. Because now you can't get out of this system. You can't get out of this matrix due to your mental health. You got clogged brain that cannot see the way out of the maze. Okay? Now let's keep it moving. I got something for you. So conclusions. We're gonna go to conclusions real quick. Conclusions. Further research accompanied by global improvement in study design is needed to establish the magnitude and the relative effect of nature-based interventions and to quantify the compelling effect of factors that improve engagement with green and blue spaces. Nevertheless, this review has documented the increasing body of evidence in support of natural-based interventions as effective tools to improve mental, physical, and cognitive health outcomes, and highlighted key factors that improve engagement with the natural world. I mean, and that's just a little bit. That's what they said. So what is it that you need to know about what I'm talking about now? Huh? I just gave you what they said. Now, what do you need to hear about from me that I need to reiterate anything about coming to get your so you can get back to nature? Because nature-based interventions is what we're offering to the modern medical system of today. And we're not doing it. We're not doing it all puffed up. And this is why this information has been out here for years, but nobody has caught soup to it until you get it running to me, where I start going deep down into the spaces of of understanding to understand how can I teach my people these things? Well, guess what? They already got cognitive behavior therapy. They already got natural based intervention. Folks have been trying to introduce these things out here to the medical modern facility that don't want no parts of it. They want to keep you docile, want to keep you debilitated. They want to keep you running the fuel for the engine that's fueling the but people are changing. Since COVID-19, let me ask you guys this. Keep tapping, you guys. I'll keep talking. But Alicia needs to 50,000. I want to get to 100K. All right. If you want me to talk past 6 o'clock, which means that we only got 47 minutes left, you got to get me to 100K, baby, at least. I don't play no games while I come on. Okay. So you can't have me up here working, and your ass ain't gonna work either. We both need to work our way out of this thing. Your job is to share the information. My job is if you keep tapping, I'm gonna keep talking and keep teaching. What thus said nature is inside of me. What I get, I get. Okay? It ain't always gonna be palatable, it ain't always for everybody, but what I get, I give. There's no doubt in that. Okay. Now at the end of the day, we're gonna keep teaching you guys. Why is it so restful to garden? Why do I feel so calm when I garden? Why do see you thought slavery? See, that's why you got to understand what y'all are doing. You see, when you're talking these jargons, you got to understand spirituality to understand what the fuck they said in common out. So you in slavery. What were you doing? As a slave, what were you doing? And the reason why you was doing it is because you were the only one that knew how to do it. When they came to a new land, those folk don't know nothing about gardening, no plants on this motherfucker. They don't know how to live past a day. So guess what? They got people who did know. You was in Africa making nothing out of something. Then guess what? When we go to this new land, we don't know shit over there, so you gonna make nothing out of something over there because you motherfuckers know how to make something out of nothing. That's what made you special. Okay? So you take the gift of making something out of nothing and you bring it to a nothing so that these folks can make something out of it. But what you don't understand is you're still keeping them close to nature. Wanting them to farm for you, but the strength is in that. The strength is in that relationship. It ain't the strength ain't in the relationship between the black man and the white man. The strength was in the relationship between the black man and the land. So the fact that you made me slave, you ain't did nothing but reinstitute and reestablish and fortify the strength between me and the plant life. So guess what? You need me to live. But at the end of the day, the use the to make me so fortified and strong. I live through it. You ain't did nothing. You talking about locking me up in the room with my brother don't make me mad? You don't put me on punishment with my brother. Even if you take the TV, you take the PlayStation, you still left my brother in the room with me. I ain't on no real punishment if you punish me with my sister. Yeah, my sister gonna make up. We gonna play some kind of way. It don't feel like I'm on punishment when I'm with my people. No? You see? So it don't seem like you did nothing when you got me out here with what I already do, which is the land. But you think that they took something from you. And so therefore you don't go back to your brother because you think that your brother is a part of what you don't like about slavery. And yeah, I ain't gonna never guard. I ain't gonna never grow my own food. I ain't gonna never go out there and get my own water. I ain't gonna never own fuck man. I don't want no land. I'm a city motherfucker. Okay? I give you 65 to 75 years, you'll be a city summer bitch that came and went. If you do that, we gotta wake up. We gotta get out of it. Okay? This is real talk radio. This is real talk TV. I don't know who y'all been watching on social media, but I ain't that motherfucker. You come on here, expect to get your ass spiritually, we can get you back into nature. Okay? Gardening rests your mind and your spirit, which means it rests your blood pressure. Gardening. growing your own food. Some slave shit that you was doing, keeping your goddamn shit even killed, which was spirituality with you, which made you strong enough to endure that shit. It was because of your relationship with the land that made you fortified, it made you strong enough to endure it. No other man can endure it but you. Why did you endure slavery? Because they put you with your brother, which was land, and they didn't understand the power between you and land. So now you got this motherfucker called Harriet Tubman that can come into the scene and be able to escape some of it through an underground railroad process where she was getting networked with other folk. Can't see at night because there ain't no street light. So how in the hell did she know about the Underground Railroad? This is the Underground Railroad. But the only way you're gonna see the yellow brick road, the Underground Railroad, is that you got to follow the sun. You got to follow the stars. Harriet Tubman followed the stars. Harriet Tubman also was a world-renowned herbalist. So she was with the herbs, so she knew how to talk with nature. So when I come up on here and you just mad because I ain't got no big ass product on here trying to tell you that for your blood pressure, come and get this right here. For your little dick problems, come and get 4 of these. See, I ain't doing that. What I'm telling you is that go back to nature. It's more complicated for you. It's cheap, but it's complicated. He made it accessible and affordable. But man, you got to get back that is with nature. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do the program. You want to continue to be a product. And the more you keep buying products, the more that you offer somebody else. Anybody got anything to say? It is you got to help yourself to some degree. You're right. Okay, appreciate you. Back to the rules. Yes, 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 yes. Thank you, Farmer. So what we're trying to do is get people to understand this balancing act. They already did the research. I knew it without even having to do the research. But I always question. I'm always like, how can I teach them better, deeper? It's got to be something already out there. They already know. Nature-based interventions are the best interventions of the world. And so the honest manual is nothing more than a nature-based intervention so that you can stop getting on the engine of herbalism. Herbalism has become an industrial conglomerate of urbanism. Urban life, urban, 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 right? So due to this urbanization of our communities, then you can't even trust the herbs. You got to have a special quality. Look how you buy something. Look how you made something. You rich, these fuckers come. There'll be somebody that'll show up at your door with cryptochromolite. How many of you know what cryptochromolite is? Put a one in the chat. If you know what cryptochromolite is, put a one in the chat. Anybody know what cryptochromolite is? Put a one in the chat. You think you a healer? There'll be a motherfucker come up on your, they'll be on wheels or something. He can't even walk to your house. He'll be on wheels themselves. You heal cryptochromolite. Hell no, because you don't even know what that is. You don't even know the basis of what they're doing, what it's starting at. These folks done came to you with something that the doctor done told them that you have no idea of what the hell they even start at. And they telling you they ain't got nobody. No shit, bro. I got cryptocurrency like no shit. But you call yourself a healer because you was in the kitchen making goddamn some recipe from a book that you got off TikTok called the Green Book. Okay, it ain't that easy. If it was that easy, everybody would be doing this shit. Well, nobody died. Everybody know the secrets. The everlasting life. When nobody died. It ain't that easy. Y'all. There are people who have been to do things and they leave this kind of space. You making peppermint tea for somebody ain't gonna do nothing. There's levels to this thing. No, KK, I got to get on them. You know me, I told you, sometimes you got to whoop some folk ass. These folk think they really doing something. You got to have a unique ability to talk to nature. And if you ain't got it because they give it to you, then that's okay. Don't be hating on me. Okay? Urbanism. We're leaving the green spaces. We're leaving what we love. we're leaving our healing, we're leaving the heart, we're leaving our perspectives, we're leaving our spirituality, and therefore we're leaving the blue. Why did they put color on this shit talking about science? Why didn't want me just read this then? That's the first question I see. If you a critical thinker like me, first question I'm gonna ask, especially when I'm trying to really understand herb man, I'm be like, okay, you've been teaching about the colors, you've been teaching about the chakra, you've been teaching about the food colors, you've been teaching us all this shit is aligned. So why the fuck did they use the word green? And I've been watching herb man long enough to know that he said green was the fourth chakra, which is the heart chakra, which is your love and healing. I've been watching HerbMan long enough that he said the blues is all up in your crown chakra and your third eye. Fuck with these folks use the word green and blue space because they're trying to tell us what the areas of these things will hit, which is your heart. Your heart is gonna make you calm down, relax. The heart chakra, he just said, is about love and healing. So the more I'm more around green spaces than around urban life, the more I'm around love and healing of nature. And that loving healing of nature is a nurturing feeling that a man or woman can't get. That mama them can't get. You know, mama love you 5 1 4 5 minutes, cuss your ass out of that five nature. That love them. Yeah, don't give a damn if you're a rapist, a murderer, or whatever. But nature love on your mother in the ass. Only person gonna kill you is that only person gonna judge you and put you in the penitentiary, gonna take your life or something you did egregious to another human life is another nature. No, you did. Man, unconditional love. You got air conditioning. You got outside out. Okay, air conditioning, outside out. You got filtered water. Then you got natural spring water with no filter. When I go down there to the water hole when I was in America, I'm not in South Africa right now, but when I was at, when they got my natural spring water from the natural spring, and they used to be like, you get that water without no filter. See, so you ain't never had unconditional. You spend more time in air conditioning than unconditional air. Air conditioning is inside. Unconditional air is outside. You spend more time drinking filtered water than unfiltered natural spring water. So a filtered water is the same thing as conditioned air. And the only reason why your air is conditioned is because it is going through a filter system. So you see how you are getting filtered things, nothing pure. And then you want to go on a 2 week to a month vacation around purity and thinking that that's the time that you need to wash away 11 months of hellacious living. No, sirree. With nature-based interventions, you must engage. Remember that it said that the success is partially dependent on how much you engage. Can I get you to walk? In South Africa right now, if I take you guys outside with me right now, and I can literally pick up this phone and take you guys out there with me right now, and I'm gonna show you people walking up and down this neighborhood, old and young. Matter of fact, I ain't got time. YouTube, I can't take y'all out. I ain't got time. come to South Africa? Why do you come out here? Nature-based, nature-based intervention. That's what we're talking about. Nature-based intervention. You have to get nature to intervene if you're really trying to do this holistic thing, you guys. Y'all have been just listening, but you ain't really listening. So I'm gonna show you. You can't try to be this big thing over here and can't get out your can't get into your oasis. Okay, all right. So you got to be able to understand the way forward, right? So these things that we're talking about here are literal, they're real, right? So now gardening. So slavery, even though we was out there in the cotton field, it lowered our fear and anxiety and our stress, but also it kept us in our highest state. So that's why we would be out there saying, uh, swing low, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home. Sweet low, chariot, coming forth to carry me home. See, all the old songs is because we was at our most highest state. Because it was something about the gardening, it was something about the farming, it was something about the fishing, it was something about nature that allowed us to get into a spiritual comfortability, not with our physical state of being, but with our spiritual state of being. And we knew that when we were physically beat and physically downtrodden, and physically weak, that we could tap into an energy that they could not understand that we had. They got it too, but they used physicality. But you know, what's keeping me going? Because I'm in my most highest state. So when you put me in the land, you actually gave me the best ingredient to make me strong enough to be able to subdue or be able to endure. And you didn't know it. You didn't know it. How did this Negro survive slavery? Fuck around and kept crossing away. Oh, you think they didn't know that? So guess what? Get them away from the land. Get them away from the land. Get them away. Make them stop touching the land. Make them stop growing. Make them stop farming. Make them make them not even want to farm no more. I want you to beat them and I want you to treat them in such a way that they wouldn't dare go back to land. They won't dare understand how to navigate the way they used to be with the stars. They wouldn't dare go back into it and understand how to talk to the rose bush and how to talk to the pineapple tree and they wouldn't dare go back into it without it being against their religion, without it being against their because we'll set up a block. And they took you totally up off of your strength, which was in the land. And I'm telling you that these folks done been trying to heal themselves. White folks is in just as much health concerns as the black. I don't give a damn. You know how rich the Prince and the King Charles is over there, Queen Elizabeth. Them some bitches just as sick as Joe Biden. And Joe Biden is just as sick as your grandma. It don't matter how much money you got when it comes to health. Steve Jobs, rich than a motherfucker, nigga, just had came out with the iPhone. Couldn't cure his own cancer. But then you got Magic Johnson living forever on AIDS. But at the end of the day, if you ain't in tune, you got a date. And what we're trying to do is get you to evolve into this thing that you feel is there, that you can learn that's there, but that you haven't been able to tap in. The valuability of religion is not because they're religious, not in my opinion. I used to be a Christian. I used to preach as a Christian minister. So I ain't got no problem with religion in the fact of them just being religious. I got a problem of the effectiveness of what they did to the people who are not ministers. If you are a pastor, your job is still make people understand. If you are a teacher, my job is to only create one teacher of themselves. That's why I said, look, I'm not selling this so you can do what I can do and teach the masses. I'm selling this so you can do what I can do and heal yourself. I healed myself. They said I had ulcerative colitis and all those diseases. Got the ass and everything. I don't got that no more and never took medication. I don't got no goddamn ulcerative colitis no more. I don't got no motherfucking autoimmune disease no more. They said this shit was incurable. 2 months of my own herbal concoction. I ain't seen blood yet. It's been years. Since 2013, which is when I came into this paradigm. No medication. No looking in my butthole no more. I ain't going down there no more. Tell me the name of it and I got it from here. So I'm not teaching you how to be a teacher of the masses. That's me. What I'm giving you, what's valuable for you, is that it's for you. I'm teaching you how to heal yourself. This ain't gonna work on your husband. Because your husband gotta want to heal himself. There's an engagement that must happen. Okay? There's a meeting that must happen. There's a meeting room that must happen. So gardening, surfing, boating, fishing, all this stuff lowers your cortisol, all this stuff breathing, all this stuff paces you, all this stuff evens your keel, all of this stuff brings you down, all this stuff allows you to decompose, all of this stuff allows you to decompress, all this stuff allows you to just chill. Natural based interventions get you relaxed again. Walking relaxes you, especially if the old lady in the house talking shit. Go for a walk, man. But you want to go all the way, you want to walk to the back post to spark the cigarette. Fuck the cigarette. Walk off the back post. Leave the goddamn house. You can hear fussing in that motherfucker. You that something to walk up. Don't break up your truck. Don't know well. Because then when you go somewhere, you're going to go to a club, you drink, then you drove. Just walk. You'll be surprised what a walk can do versus just going out on the back porch in a new porch. The new porch ain't got nothing on the wall. The new porch keeps it close to the shit. So you smoking 2, 3 new porch because you right there at the sound of the porch. The walk that you're away from. The run, the jog, water activities, the vacation, the balance of work and life, the balance of study, life, the retreat. You got to go into your green and blue spaces. Activate your spirituality, your perspective, and your love and your heart and your healing. And these things will help you. Be more balanced with understanding the value of being able to have these